Quite often people ask me what this or that design means in Native America. So, be it rosette or whatever. And it's a typical white thinking that one design you see could mean for all Native Americans could mean this or that. But where does it come from? We go back to the 1920s to the Southwest, and this is a Navajo silversmith, and he's doing silver work for his own family, but also for sale to tourists. And when in the 1920s became very popular the Santa Fe Railway, and this shows how native ladies sell pottery to tourists. Tourists that came from California and went to Chicago and stopped by in Santa Fe and looked for the landscape and even for native people, for whatever. And it was a large tourist industry, heavily made up by Fred Harvey. He had hotels and even a large trading post. And one of his concepts was that he hired native silversmiths to do jewelry for him, tourist work, not highly tribal preferred items, but items that were could be very well be sold to tourists. And here you see also such a trade by tribal people, but in the building is also a trading post where Fred Harvey and all his stuff were selling jewelry, basketry, and whatever to tourists. So, and one of his concepts was that he was telling the people to do, especially for example bracelets, but also all other kinds of jewelry, to do it cheaply, to sell as souvenirs. And so a bracelet should maximum cost $5, a silver bracelet. And what did this mean? I mean, to make up a complete bracelet, for example, to do all handcraft silver work, this was not what Fred Harvey wanted. He forced the native guys to take stamps and to make symbols and whatever to put on these bracelets. And these symbols, like arrows or crossed arrows or clouds or thunderbirds or whatever, these were not really native symbols. There was much more designs that would fit an iconography that tourists needed and wanted. Because I call this easy concepts. Easy to understand, nothing to think about, and even one size fits all. We have over 500 tribes in North America, so they all have the same designs and the same meaning in such a personalized society, like for example the Plains tribes. I think that would not work, but to make it simple for tourists to sell them stuff, it would be a good idea to put a stamp on with a thunderbird and just sell off the bracelet for cheap money. And then you can sell the tourists also this one. These are postcards. What these symbols on this jewelry mean. So you can see here, it's from the thunderbird to whatever. So all the tourists could take a little piece of the Southwest back home and could easily tell their families what this means. So I think this concept of, what does this mean in Native America for Native American people is a very wide concept to be made up for tourists and for tourist trade. Especially in the Southwest, I think that's where it came from. So hopefully you learned something new today, and stay interested in so many crazy concepts, historical concepts. Please look at the other videos, and goodbye.